Hello, crew. It is Saturday, July the 2nd, and we are leaving to go to camp in about an hour and 15 minutes. And so everything's a little frantic. Actually, everything's pretty quiet right now. It was frantic up until a few minutes ago, and it will get frantic again probably in about half an hour, 45 minutes. Hope you've had a good week. Haven't talked in a while. It's been a busy week. A lot of stuff going on. Let's see what happened. So, Carew was in Scotland with Sarah's folks for a couple weeks, and on Tuesday they were supposed to come home. And Sarah called me at work late Tuesday morning and said, I just got a call from my parents. Carew is on a bus going somewhere by himself and is flying home on his own because their flight was canceled and they decided to take separate flights home. It was not clear, still isn't exactly clear how that decision came to be made. But so what they said was he's going to spend 16 hours in the uh,
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh airport and then catch a flight to London, and from London to Chicago, and Chicago to Portland, arriving 11:30 at night, at which point Sarah and I on Wednesday evening needed to be there to pick him up. And so, and plus, Sarah's mom said, oh, and he doesn't have a cell phone. So they made this decision and put him on the bus before ever talking to us about coming to pick him up, which was kind of funny. Um, and so, yeah, it's just kind of weird thing. And so Sarah and I were like, okay, we'll drive down Wednesday night. And I told my boss I was going to be in late and possibly not at all on Thursday, depending on how it went, because if he got there 11:30, we wouldn't be home likely until 3 in the morning at the earliest. So, so Sarah and I were getting ready to go down, and I don't know if it was right before we left or right after we left. So eventually, Carew contacted Sarah via Facebook, and she reminded him that he did have a cell phone in his backpack. Or actually, she said, I can't believe you didn't bring your cell phone. I told you to. And he goes, oh, yeah, I did. I just remembered. So, so anyway, then she talked to him and then found out just before we left to go to Portland that his flight was delayed 3 hours leaving um, Chicago. So we drove down a little early to Portland and got a hotel room and slept until, at least I slept. I don't know how much Sarah slept until about 3 o'clock, and then he called us to say that he was at the airport, and we went and picked him up and came back to the hotel room and slept some more, and then got up and kind of a little pretty late, and then ended up wandering back into town. So it was kind of an adventure, and actually it was fun because we got on Twitter, and Sarah and I and Bryn all tweeted various tweets about where Carew was and asked if anyone could help us find him. But yeah, so that was interesting. So in the meantime, the getting ready to go. Actually, so a couple weeks ago, I found out that I had passes to go to the ESRI user conference, which were complimentary and usually like $1,500. And so, um, and there we've been working on this thing to try to coordinate with Department of Interior for we get software from them under their licensing agreement, and there's concern that's going to go away, which would cost us a lot of money. And so Stacy asked me if I would go to a meeting at the ESRI user conference about this. She said, I think it'd be really good if you were there. And I was like, okay. Well, the ESRI user conference starts a week from this coming Monday on the 11th. So I'm going to camp. We're going to camp this week. We'll be gone off the grid all week. We get back Friday night, Friday evening, and then basically I have to go to San Diego to this conference, but I need to be back on Wednesday for a meeting here, the Leadership Pendleton thing here. So it's kind of hectic. So I've been arranging the travel for that, and then I looked up and I realized that if I went a day early on Saturday, I could actually go see a Galaxy game.
Hmm.
So I and it wasn't any extra for the flight, so I moved the flight to Saturday. So I'm flying out. So we're getting back Friday. I'm flying out Saturday morning. I'm gonna go rent a car in San Diego, and actually I should do that before we leave. I should set up the car rental and the hotel reservation, and then go watch the Seattle or LA play Chicago. And I've arranged for tickets, which is good. Um, and then I'll go to that game, spend the night um, close to the Home Depot Center where the game is, and then from there I'll go back to San Diego and get in my hotel room there, and and then go to these meetings in LA on Monday and Tuesday. Fly home Tuesday night, get in at like 11:30. Wednesday morning I've got leadership Pendleton, and then all day Wednesday. So it's going to be a hectic couple weeks. I may or may not be uploading videos. I know I won't this next week, obviously, because we'll be at camp. We'll be completely out of contact. So that's kind of what's been going on around here. I don't know if you. I think we did talk after the Gold Cup final, which was kind of a bummer. But I told you about that Galaxy game. That's it. I played open mic again on Thursday night. Brought Sarah down. I blackmailed her into coming down and hanging out with me, and it was kind of fun. Had a good time. So let's see what else is going on. At work, I recently finished a little project, putting together a document about enterprise-wide information management, customer relations management software, and it ended up being like a 22-page thing, including all the kind of research I'd done online, and then the content of the document itself. And I wrote, and I think it's pretty good. I'm actually pretty pleased with the way it came out. I think it's a good starting point for a discussion. So we'll see how that goes when I get back. I just emailed that in yesterday. So yeah, I know that our phone conversation got cut off, and maybe I'll try to give you a call, but I've got to go run some errands right now and do some stuff. But I wanted to touch base before we completely left and we're incommunicado for a week. Hopefully it's going to be a good time, and we'll miss having you there. I'll say hi to Greg Grammar for you. Bye-bye. Oh yes, wait, I forgot one more thing. I'm still dead. And I can't figure out how to stop this thing. Oh, wait, one more thing. No, I'm just kidding. I figured out how to stop it. Still dead.